Okay, today we're going to show you how to make a PVC banner. So we're starting with the artwork. This is the artwork for our banner here. We'll just measure it up at 1250 by 500. So there's only one thing to really consider with the artwork for your banner, and that is a safe area. Very much like small format printing, like a business card or something. You do need a bit of a safe area for the eyelets of the banner, just so it doesn't impede on any important information printed on the banner, so websites, email addresses, things like that. So I'm just measuring all around this banner at the moment. I've put a bit of a border on there, and it's about 40mm of space all the way around, so I'm just checking that safe area. And as I said, this is for the eyelets, so it doesn't creep into any of the artwork. These are the eyelets, and as you can see in a sec, they measure around 25mm, so that is the minimum I would be leaving on this banner. I've increased it to about 40mm. So for the Roland printers, they usually have a profile for banners built in. So this is the VG3. As you can see, it's got two generic banner profiles built in. So you shouldn't have to do anything extra there. You can just choose one of those to print to. The Mamaki software is slightly different. You have to manually load your profiles on, so they will either be called banner, such as this one, or tarpaulin on some of the other machines, and you can just download as many versions of the resolution as you like. So this is our material. It's a 440 GSM PVC banner, very strong for obviously outdoor use. There are other thicker GSMs available, like 510 GSM. You can see it's a crossweave banner, nice and strong, prints really well. Supplies wise, there isn't a whole lot to worry about, so I'm going to show you two different ways in this video of hemming it. So those are our two different hemming tapes that we'll be using. These are our eyelets, as you saw earlier. They come in two halves, and they are to be used on this. This is our eyelet press. So that's for eyeletting the banner when it's finished. Optional items, a little roller and a ruler for trimming. So this is our banner, all printed up, looking great. Say we printed this on the Roland VG3 solvent printer. So for the first method, the more traditional method of hemming, we're going to need to trim the banner, but we need to leave enough room for our hemming tape. So the hemming tape is about 25mm. So there we are. I've just trimmed that up now with a good border of at least 25mm. Okay, so we're going to start the hemming process. So I like to start with the short edges first and then move on to the longer edges. So we're just going to turn that over because we want the print facing down for this bit. So this is our banner tape. I'm going to stick it very close to the edge, but obviously we don't want it creeping over the edge at this point. And I'm going to hold it down with my thumb, and I'm going to use the other hand to steer the banner tape as I work my way along that edge. There we are. So I'm just going to trim that off. Okay, so hemming tape is double-sided, so I need to peel off the outer layer of the tape, as you can see there, not all the way. I'm going to fold over the banner. Now I want to fold into the artwork a little bit, just so you don't get any unsightly white lines on the finished banner. So I'm going to creep into the artwork a little bit. I'll move the camera so you can see a little bit better once my hands are out of the way. Now you can use a roller if you wish for this bit to help press the banner down. I'm just going to carry on with my hands for this one. So again, I'm steering with the one hand, so I'll get it even all the way down that edge, and I'm pressing down with my finger and then bringing my full hand back to try and squeeze any air out of there. You don't want any unsightly air bubbles in the finished banner if you can help it. So I'm just going to finish doing the remaining sides. Same process for all 4 sides, nothing changes. So there we are, that's the first of the banners hemmed. You can see a little bit of artwork all the way around, that's what you want to see. And we'll just flip that back over. And yeah, there we are, one banner hemmed. So for method 2 hemming, we're going to be using our edget tape. It's a slightly different way of doing it. This is the edget tape. It's a very strong crossweave tape, only sticky on the one side, and this is to negate the reason for full hemming as you saw on the previous banner. So for this we need to trim to the actual artwork itself. We're leaving no border. So there we are, that's trimmed up. So again, print face down, and we're going to use our edget tape, and all we're going to do with the edget tape is simply stick it again as close to the edge as we can get it without it creeping over the edge. And what the edget tape does is, as we're not using traditional hems, it gives it that strength and stability for the eyelet so they don't tear if the banner gets blown around in the wind and whatnot. So it just gives it some nice strength, some nice stability. So there we go, that's the one side done. Again, close to the edge but not creeping over the edge, and now you can see it's a lot stiffer, it's a lot stronger because of the edget tape. So there we are, there's both our banners hemmed, both different methods. Again, I'm going over the corners because I want the corners to be extra strong for the eyelets that we'll apply next. Okay, for the eyelets we're going to need our eyelet press. That's this thing here, available from Signmaster systems along with the eyelets themselves. So these are the eyelets. They come supplied in 2 halves. There's various different names, but we'll call it a top half and a bottom half to make things easier. So the top half needs to be put on the top of the eyelet press in this way, and it will hold in position, don't worry about that. The bottom half of the eyelet has an open side and a closed side, so the open side needs to be sat on the bottom of the eyelet press facing upwards. That's very important. So I'm going to position my banner and eyelet, so I'm going to be doing all 4 corners. So I'm going to position it in the corner of the banner. Now I want it close to the corner as possible, but I do want it a few millimeters in from both sides. I don't want the eyelet to creep over the edge of the finished banner. So before you press the handle down, you can adjust it to make sure that you're in the right position. Excuse the camera angle, I do apologise. That's better. Once you're happy with the position, bring the handle down. That will pierce the banner and press the eyelet together. And then we just pop out the centerpiece like that, and there we are. That's got an eyelet in the corner. And there you can see it from the back side. So there's all 4 corners with eyelets in on the first banner. So these banners are quite small. 4 eyelets in the corners probably would be sufficient for this. Anything over 1 meter, I would say you put an extra eyelet in, but to show you, Quickest and easiest way of putting a centre eyelet in, if you bring the banner corner to corner and give it a bit of press down in the middle, we're just going to put a bit of a groove, a bit of a mark, and we know that is the centre point of the banner. There we go, you can see the little groove there. You could draw on with pen if you needed to make the mark more noticeable, but that just gives us a nice place to put our middle eyelets. There we are. And then again, if you wanted to put extra eyelets in, you'd bring corner to middle, give it a bit of a press down, and that'll give you another point to put your eyelets in. It's just a quick and easy way without measuring the banner and drawing on marks to get the right position. So there we are. There's our two different hem styled banners, one with the eyelets in the four corners. There we are. And the other edge-it hemmed banner, eyelets in the four corners and eyelets in the middle. All done. If you're interested in the material or the supplies that you've seen in this video, then check out our website or give us a call